Hey, Kyle.
Meet me at the gate, quite frankly. Rich and I are going to be at the gate. I'm going to bring Elon. We're going to be selling Teslas, big Teslas. We're going to the moon, people.
I'm Rich Levene, and this is Meet Me at the Gate, where we're not just talking theory, we're tackling real-world problems head-on, driving solutions that supercharge productivity and team dynamics. Every episode is a journey towards improvement, empowering you, the manager, to lead with innovation and confidence. Join us to transform everyday roadblocks into highways for success.
My favorite is the independent auction, and I think Rich told me that's what you are.
That's me. Yep.
That's my favorite.
Absolutely. Ours too.
Good. What? Where are you at again? New York, right?
Upstate New York. Yep. Expressway Auto Auction.
Expressway. Okay. How many cars are you running a week? Average.
Average 350, 400, but we just got some new accounts, so hoping to be in that 450 range for the first year.
So, is it safe to guess that 80% of your vehicles are dealer consignment?
Right now, about 90 of them are.
Yeah.
90%, and then, but luckily, getting to know Rich here, we're going to start getting some more accounts he's helping me with. So
get some
and
fleet
Giles
account.
TPC, of course.
Yeah. So Kyle's a fourth generation independent auto auction owner. Four, count them.
Wasn't it a couple months ago you had a big deal going, Rich, where you were talking about generation businesses?
Yeah, we talked about multi-generational. We just talked about leading different generations. So here you are, fourth generation. So my guess is you're late. You're a millennial.
A little bit. Old school millennial.
Old school millennial.
Yeah, old soul.
We're not going to judge you. I still think you're cool, even though you're a millennial.
Okay.
All right. So talk to us about how'd you get into the business?
My grandfather, of course, he had us working the sale barn when we were, all my family. My sister is actually with me in the business, but we started the sale at a young age. The school bus dropped us off. Grandpa always had something for us to do, and our sale night, we call it church night. You never got out of it, no matter what. Whether it was popping hoods or playing ringman or just passing papers, whatever it was, we were at the sales. So, and the treat was always trying to become the auctioneer.
Oh,
so
that's what
to
you can make it to the
auctioneer.
auctioneer. Wow.
That's right.
So are you an auctioneer?
I am an auctioneer.
Prove it.
What do you want me to sell? How about this beer?
Sell me that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a cold beer here in the hand. Comes with a glass. No charge here. We didn't pay $25. I got 25. But doing 25, half, 75, 100, a quarter, and half. Rich, you're out. Gotta go. He's out of money. What do you say? There he is. 175, but 200, 2 and a quarter. I'm gonna sell it to you, Rich. Don't forget, there's a 10% buyer's premium. Pay with cash or card.
This beer just got really expensive.
There you have it.
I ran you up, Rich. I ran that beer way up.
So we've never had an auctioneer on the show.
I love it.
So this is a first.
Yep.
I've tried getting some auctioneers on. They say, hey, no, we're not coming on. We're not talking. I don't know what that's all about. So the whole show that we talk about is how do we help managers at auto auctions become better? What does an auctioneer wish a manager at an auction would know? Whether it be the ops manager, the fleet manager, the sales manager, the general manager, the office manager?
Well, I think in general, there's a couple different types of auctioneers. There's your fleet guys, and then there's your dealer guys. Your dealer guys, I call them the grinders. You know what I mean? They'll sit back in the chair and they'll work. They'll push a little harder. If you put a fleet auctioneer on the stand with a dealer, they don't always gel well. And I think as a manager, for me, I kind of seek out my auctioneers for our sale. And I think it's important because you get a guy that's been selling lease cars his entire career, and you put him with a dealer, you could lose the dealer over that auctioneer.
True story. I've been there, done that.
And it's important, and a lot of people, this conversation came up because the auctioneer is what makes the auction, and I feel like the industry has kind of forgot about that. We're more into finding the new technology, which is important, or lighting or better CRs, whatever the case is. But we truly forgot, at the end of the day, it comes down to that auctioneer and the sale barn.
It's an auction, right?
It's an auction.
And to have an auction, you need
Yep, you need an auctioneer. I remember I was a little guy. I think eBay came out in 1995, and I was very young. Let's say 2000s. I'm old enough to understand the business. And Grandpa goes, "This friggin' eBay thinks they're an auction, and there's no auctioneer. Who are they?" He says, And I'm not picking on them. I'm just, through my life, it's like what's most important to me in the auction is that auctioneer.
No, it's a great example, but human beings. So interesting enough, I read I tell Ty this all the time. I read a lot of books. I love reading. And one of them, I can't remember the title of it, but it was about the guy, it was the story of the guy that started Zappos.
Okay.
Tony, and I can't remember his last name. But anyway, he was going through and he was talking, and he was getting into dire straits with Zappos, and he was trying to make it. And he had a condo, or whatever you want to call it, in downtown San Francisco, but it was like this $1 million condo, and he had to pay for it, but he was running out of money. So he decided he was going to have a rave. So he invited everybody over, was charging a cover charge, and he had a rave party in his condo in downtown thing. It was huge. But what he explained to me is he said, when you go into a rave, you got the DJ up in the booth, and everybody pulls the energy, and they all start going.
Right.
If you just have somebody there and you don't have that going on, you don't have any energy. That was my aha moment. Is an auction is like a rave in this sense, where you got the auctioneer and it's a live body, and he's in there, and you got all the people down below from the block, and they're all going like this, and now all of a sudden you got them dancing.
You got energy.
Right? Exactly.
You know,
You can't replicate that with AI.
No, you cannot. And I'll I do a lot of equipment auctions with Lion Auction, who's one of the biggest independent equipment sales in the United States. And he told me best with a lot of these internet companies. I said, Jack, I don't know how to battle these guys. And he says, you look your guys, your customers, and say, you like phone sex or you like real sex? And then, depending on their answer, you'll have them at your sale.
I think they probably know how they're going to say it.
Got to have that energy, you know. And to me, being an auctioneer, it is fun. It's fun for me. It's exciting. But you're right, to interact with people. You know, and the internet sales are good. You know, they've been proven to be successful, but there's something about sale day that just, you know, gets people excited.
Oh, sale day's it. That's where it happens. That's where the magic is.
That's right.
I've got a 2025 campaign, and it's called Make Auctions Great Again.
I love that.
Quite frankly, I've been selling cars a long time, people. Big cars, shiny cars. Very, very tremendous. Elon, I love your cars. So special.
That's one of my favorites.
That's great.
So
We're going to make auctions great again. That's what
we're going to make auctions great. But before auctions were great, there was another gentleman in the White House. And how would he sell cars?
Which one we talking? 08? 9?
Yeah, you know which one. Barry.
Fellow Americans, what I want to do is I want to sell more cars. I think we should charge the buyers more fees, maybe not as much on the seller. Or here's the deal. Cars are great. I love cars. I went to Mexico. I bought a car, a Chevy. I have ice cream in my shoes. I love all our presidents. I'm not picking. It's all for fun. You know, part of being an auctioneer is engaging with the crowd and just having a good time. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and you're right too. I was going to say you're right, because I'm at 4 auctions a week, different ones. So I'm in Missouri, southwest corner. I go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, Springdale, Arkansas, smaller independent auction, Springfield, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. So I'm hitting a different auction all day.
Independent
and the ring
auctions.
guys, most of them are, yeah. Well, Z in Tulsa just got bought out by Americas. Do you know that?
I did know that, yep.
Yeah. So anyway, it's fun watching the auctioneers and the ring guys. When you see the team where they've worked together, the same guys for the last 20, 30 years, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
there's energy there for sure.
It's like music. I worked with an old auctioneer, Murray Kent. He started at my grandfather's sale when he was 14, and his father worked at the sale throughout the 70s, 80s, and him and I, you know, I would enjoy ringing with him just because he was so good on the mic. And then him and I mean, we made numbers. You know, there's times where people looked at each other and they said, I don't even know where I'm at. And you sold it, buy your number, next car. I mean, it's adrenaline. It's fun. And honestly, all the hard work, the ups and downs, saying sold on Tuesday nights is what it's all about.
There it is.
Sold.
So do you have a hammer?
I do. Yep.
Do you use it?
I do have a hammer. It's from my auctioneer school, Mendenhall. Graduated first in my class, and the big joke was, how many was in your class? Just you? That was the joke at home. And no, we use big rubber whips.
The rubber hose?
Yes, that's right.
I was introduced to the rubber hose.
Gotta have rubber
when
hose.
I went down to, it's no longer that, but it used to be called ACOC Auto Auction. It used to be an independent that got bought out by Mannheim. On the block, they got 18-inch garden hose. When they hit that tape, when they hit the block, you know it.
That's right.
Don't have your hand in the way.
No.
No,
especially
don't do that.
especially when you're on a hot streak and you got 10, 12 cars that are all sold, and you're on that 13th car, you get a little more energy. That hammer's coming down even harder.
Yeah, it's got to have a little whiplash.
Not have a little whip.
Get a little cut across.
Okay, so being a smaller independent auction, wanting to kind of grow, wanting to get into some remarketing accounts, tell us some of the challenges that accompany, I want a remarketing account, I want a commercial account. What are some of the challenges you might face?
A lot of it is the relationships that a lot of the Mannheims, the bigger sales have with a lot of these guys. I'm trying to overcome that, trying to break that, and really just trying to get an opportunity to show them what an independent can do. And once we get that opportunity, so far, I mean, it's worked. They really like the more hands-on approach, that they're not just numbers. Now they're actually, friends. They turn into customers and they turn into friends, and we have a great relationship, which truthfully, that's what this business is all about. And, being an auctioneer is great, but a lot of it too is just having them relationships and building them. It takes time,
Yeah. Well, where I was going really was, okay, from what I heard, I'm not an auction guy or a remarketing guy or a consignor, but I've heard like, okay, we'll be happy to give you cars. Do you take photos? We'll be happy to give you cars. Do you do recon? We'll be happy to give you cars, but do you do? So as a smaller auction, is that something you're ready for?
Oh, yeah, so the last couple of years, my sister and I, what we've really focused on is pure recon. So, and I think that's kind of where our sale is kind of came alive, as we offer a whole extensive plan of recon, from refinishing wheels, timing chains in cars, fixing frames. I mean, you name it, we do it, paint booth. And what I've kind of gathered is a lot of these smaller buyers don't have the paint shop. They don't have a New York State inspecting booth. We try to get these cars just as ready as possible. And it took a little courage and a little time to show our sellers that this actually works. The car will bring more money in the lane. Again, relationships are key. They believed in us, and it's working. We built a brand new photo booth. It's lighted. It's all white. So our CRs, our photos are top notch. We got 7 trucks on the road now. We're looking for some more. So, yeah, we're a smaller independent sale, but we're gearing up to be hopefully something bigger.
Wow. Well, that's good, because I've talked to a couple of smaller independent auctions that really aren't quite prepared for all the next steps in engaging with the commercial accounts. So there can be some demands, true. Yeah.
Oh, there is. So back in the day, Grandpa, he had Ford Motor Credit. He started his first NAAA sale in 1967, and 80s, 90s. He was the big dog. 1,500 cars, 1,800 cars. We're very blessed and fortunate to have his empire, his ship. Obviously we put some lipstick on it, made it beautiful, but we got 35 acres on our main property. We have an off-site recon. I mean, it's a gorgeous facility, and I think that is a true key to our success.
Yeah, absolutely, especially up there. Real estate up there, they don't make that anymore.
No, they don't.
They stopped making that a long time ago.
Grandpa always said, just buy the house and we'll knock it down if we have to. That's going to be a parking lot.
Hey,
there you go.
So 4 generations, and you said, I heard in there's 7 trucks. Were they rollbacks?
3-car haulers.
3-car haulers.
Yep. And then we're looking
dually and a wedge.
Dually and a wedge. Yep. 550 Rams. Dodges all the way.
Dang.
I played this game in transportation a lot.
Yep.
The auction, once the transport guy makes a good relationship with the auction, whether that be the general manager, AGM, sales rep, the auction then counts on me to go get the cars, and I bill the auction for the transportation, which I found out later they would cut a deal with the dealer. Hey, we'll take care of transportation. We'll give you a decent selfie. Just give Ty a call. He'll go get it. Is that kind of the same idea?
Pretty much the same thing. It's just we do have a few trucks that we do run, a couple contracted guys that take care of us, but same thing, kind of a one-stop shop. Let us know where the cars are, how many, and we'll be there to get them.
Yeah. You do out as well?
Yep. Not as much.
Transport out? Yeah.
So what we try to do is make loads. I mean, in the business, that trailer's empty. No one's making money. Typically what we try to do is, our sales Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We try to encourage our buyers to let us truck them for a pretty decent rate, depending on where we're going, and then we can pick up another load across town and, try to keep it economical friendly.
Keep it going.
What's your range? How far out?
Typically, I'm upstate New York, right in the center, Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester. It's all within 70, 80 miles, but we just got a little farther in Ithaca, now Binghamton. I'm hoping to go hundreds of miles. It doesn't scare me at all.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there's a saying, and I know you've heard it, but short mile, long dollar. Have you heard that one?
Yeah, I have. Yep. Yeah,
There you go. You're in the short mile.
Short mile. Yep. Yeah, we try to get 2 to 3 trips in a day, 4 if we're lucky, but we like to try to keep it safe as we can as well.
So out of everything you've done in the auction, what's your favorite?
Auctioneering.
Auctioneering?
Yeah,
Why?
saying sold.
Just saying sold?
It's the adrenaline. I'm a very hands-on GM. I like to be in the recon shop with my guys. I love to be in the stores with my dealers. I love to be with the title clerks getting titles. I'm on the road every day, and then like I said, Tuesday that night, it's just kind of the sweetness,
So what's the trick to auctioneering? Is it tongue twisters? Being
Nah.
able to say that Sally sold seashells down by the sheet, the whatever.
No,
really fast?
what's the big one there? They taught me in school. Betty bought some butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter, so her butter wasn't bitter. I mean, it's all that. I would say for one is just learning how to count. Everybody says, "What do you mean? I know how to count." You don't when you get in the heat of the moment. And you're 2.5, 7.5, 10. It's funny because when I was at school, I got up on the stand, and I've been selling a long time. Grandpa used to take us kids to the cattle sale and let us play around with chickens and eggs and benefit sales, and it was like the highlight, But when you're on the block and it's the big leagues, we call it, you get a little gun shy at first and you kind of forget. But,
so what sold first, the chicken or the egg?
well, I think it would be the egg, right?
I don't know. I'm asking. You're the expert on this.
But no, it's been for my family, it's been an amazing career, and our employees are top notch. We've had a lot of auctioneers, generational auctioneers. Right now, I have a father and son working. Actually, I have 2 father and sons working for us, which is really cool. And through the years, my grandfather, we had generations of auctioneers, and I think that's kind of what we're missing nowadays. Is it's kind of a dying breed. It's really sad. There's not as many auctions around, so to me, it's like you graduate high school or whatever. How do you get into being an auctioneer? So it does scare me because the talent. It's not out there as much, and to make that talent, it's tough. You can't just send someone to school and just expect them to be this great auctioneer. And that's what I see in the industry is a struggle right now, is finding good auctioneers.
Well, how do you get good at anything?
Practice.
Exactly.
But to me, though, it's something that, these generation auctioneers, they just been around and around and around. And honestly, I listen to auctions. When I'm in the car, I'll log on to an auction just to listen. You know what I mean? Maybe I could pick up something new, something fun. And it's just, but then I listen to some auctioneers, I say, oh my God, that poor manager. I mean, he, no offense, but oh my gosh, these poor consigners, just because I take it that far because I love the sound of the auctioneer.
Yeah, you got to have a good auctioneer, without a doubt. Auctioneer can make or break you.
Yeah,
my aha moment just came to me.
Yeah? Well, I could teach you, I think.
You're going to teach me how to auctioneer?
It's all about the hum.
The hum?
The hum. 25, 50, 75. Or 25, 50, 75. 25, 50, 75, high, 100, 1 quarter, half, 75, 50, 100. You know what I mean? It's that hum. You have to talk fast. Everybody thinks you're talking so. You're not talking fast. You're just having a conversation. Rich, would you pay 50? I got 50. I need 75. Rich, you're in 100. Gotta go. I mean, it's just having a quick conversation.
And then you make it interesting, right? You fill in the little bit of silence with the hum.
Yep. Gotta have some filler words. You're driving the bus. You're out of money. Come on, let's go.
Well, I can tell you in podcasting, I'm gonna go through and take out all your filler words. So anytime you've had,
it's
gonna be really interesting to find out.
25, 50, 75, 100.
I'll eliminate any of the so's or tremendous.
Quite frankly, it's going to be a big sale. Huge.
He's my guy, by the way.
Yeah, my guy too. Good job.
Yeah, he's my man.
Yeah, I'm excited. 2025's got a lot of hope.
We needed this win in the car business. Whether who you like, that's fine. But when he won, our sales on a Tuesday, and I own a little restaurant in town, and all the dealers came over, and we all kind of knew, we all had the feeling, and then everybody Wednesday morning had a different glow about them. And that next sale, everybody, the money was better, the market was better. Just I think we just needed it. That's all. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
No, we needed a shot in the arm. I don't want to get down.
That's good.
Go down any rabbit holes, but we needed a shot in the arm.
We did. We need new auctioneers. So if you know any young guys, throw them in the rings.
Talk about the benefits of being an auctioneer. Tell us why would I want to be one?
Well, it's kind of like being a plumber today. There's only so many of them. You can kind of name your price. What's interesting to me, though, is, back when I was a kid, you always heard of the circuit. Our auctioneers are core people. You had two sales on Tuesday. You had two sales on Wednesday. You had a couple sales Thursday, one big sale Friday. And it was the circuit. And then these real guys, these good guys, they were driving 3-4 hours to go to a sale, but they're getting paid good buck because they can push cars. There was auctions that recruited them, and I just feel like auctions aren't worried about the auctioneer anymore because there really isn't the talent to pick from. We just kind of get by with what we have, and there's a lot of great auctioneers. I think our auctioneers are awesome, but like I said, I listen to a lot of sales, and it just seems to be they're getting older and older, but there's no younger auctioneers coming.
Now, I didn't know about it. So you mentioned earlier, when I got out of college and went in and started working in auto finance, I had no idea what auto auctions were.
Right.
And then you talk about the circuit. So I started on the West Coast, and I was based right here in Phoenix, Arizona, right where I'm sitting today. And I would get on a plane, and I would go from Phoenix to LA to San Francisco, Salt Lake City, Seattle. That's pretty much the bulk of them. I hit most of them.
Yep.
But anyway, I would get on a plane, and I'd go to a sale, and I'd see all the auctioneers. Yep. Then I'd get off the block, grab my stuff, and I'd go to the airport, and here come the auctioneers.
Yep.
Hey, Rich, let's go have a beer. And they want to go and have a beer. We'd be on the same plane to the next city.
Yep.
We'd both go our different ways. We'd get up in the morning. We'd be at the same auction.
Same auction.
And then guess what? We'd do it all over again. We'd get on a plane. We'd fly to another city. And these guys would go from sale to sale.
It was a circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had an auctioneer, my favorite auctioneer, as a person and to work with, Murray Kett. He actually lived in Ocala, Florida. He still does, but he got on a plane every Sunday night, and he went home every Friday, and he worked New York circuit. And at times he was in Boston selling for Mannheim's. But it just, sale barns get sold, they dwindle down. There's not as many auctions anymore, and there's still that circuit, but it's just it's not like it was.
So Yankees or Mets?
Red Sox.
You're from Boston?
I love Boston.
You park your car.
Parked my car. I cut my face shaving in the mirror.
Oh, goodness.
Lost my keys in the harbor, Rich. The harbor. I like the Yankees if I had to go. New York.
All right, so football. Jets, Giants.
I'm kind of out of the business. You know why?
Because it's rigged.
It could be. I don't know. But Tom Brady, he's out of the world. So
New England.
So Tom Brady, as a football player, I always enjoyed watching him because everybody hated him because he was the best, but he put the time in it. You know what I mean? I love his leadership. He takes a team that's down but 3 touchdowns and comes back. That's huge.
So you know what Tom Brady did that most athletes, most famous people do not do? Is when he'd be in the locker room and a new player would get either drafted or traded to the Patriots or wherever he was, he would wait in the locker room for their first day arrival, and he would shake their hand
Introduce
and say,
himself.
"Hi, I'm Tom Brady." Everybody already knew who
Unbelievable.
he was. But he was humble enough to not expect somebody to know who he was. And everybody says that he is just like one of the most charismatic, caring guys, and he always brought the best out of other people. So look at Gronk. Gronk can't play tight end for anybody but Brady. He knew how to do it. Edelman was not a good wide receiver except for with Brady. And when you have a leader like that can take average people and make them better, it's like freaking incredible.
It's huge, and that's he's always been my favorite, will be forever. And I try to take his points back to the auction house and make the recon guy after a while, and then move him up the ladder and just keep going. We got employees that have worked for my family for 30 years plus, So,
dang,
yeah.
So they've been working there since you were born.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got 2 employees left right now. Actually, 3. That my sister's older. That remember my sister being born.
Oh wow,
which is crazy.
That's cool, and that's being lost right now with all the acquisitions and mergers.
It's family. Them employees of ours. They're family. We go through and we typically run about 80 to 85 employees, and I'd say 80% of them they're just true family.
That's awesome.
Couldn't do it without them.
That's cool.
That's the way it is. That's what we love about the independent auction.
That's right, baby. Independent auctions where it's at. I think it's coming back. COVID's gooped us up. A lot of these internet auctions, if you will, they kind of got ahead of us because, they had a little, the COVID stuff hurt. But I think people want to see, touch, smell that car again, and they want to come and listen to the auctioneer.
It's a chance for them to get away. And the other thing is human beings are tribal by nature.
Yep.
Go look through the history. Why is there always these little organizations of people and their tribes, right? I studied behavioral science and how this works. We're tribal. We want to be around other people. You got an app, you got your phone on there, and you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. You don't get any interaction from that.
Right.
And there's no fulfillment of it. These youngsters that are on this app buying cars or whatever, the next generation coming up, they're missing all this stuff. They don't know what an auctioneer is. They don't know what adrenaline is.
Oh, it's fun.
They don't know they know what a safe space is.
Yeah. I don't know that. What is that?
Now you're rare. You're rare.
I just old soul, Grandpa was my best friend, and he took me under his wing and taught me the goods and bads about life and work hard,
So what would you pass down? What advice would you pass down to managers that might be listening to this podcast right now? You use a 4th generation employee, Grandpa started it. What would you tell them?
I'd say hang in there because there's going to be good sales and bad sales. Work hard. Obviously, try to pick the best auctioneers you can, but take care of your staff, be a leader, and be honest with you, it doesn't matter what department, they all mean something, whether it's the guy cleaning your bathroom, because our bathrooms I take pride on that. Really be a leader and be a hands-on manager in the business.
You know the JFK story, right? When the United States was working on putting a man on the moon, he visited NASA, and he went to NASA in Houston, and he was talking to everybody. JFK went and he was another guy. He would introduce himself to everybody. He said, "Hey, I'm Jack." Everybody knew he was the president.
Yep.
But he introduced him. And he stopped and he talked to the janitor in NASA.
That's right.
And he said, "Hi, I'm Jack. I'm whatever, however he said it. He never used the title." He said, "What do you do here?" It was obvious the guy was a janitor.
Right.
And he said, "I'm helping put a man on the moon." And Kennedy said, "Tell me more." He goes, "Well, what happens if the floor is dirty and the guy that pushes the button and makes the launch go slips and falls and breaks?" He goes, "My job's important. I love my job."
That's awesome.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Meet Me at the Gate. I hope the conversation has helped to fuel your drive and equip you with insights to steer your team towards success. Remember, the road to success is always under construction. And until next time, keep your engines revving and your gas tanks full.